For today's blog, I'm going to teach you a new word called stimming. Stimming is what autistic kids do to stimulate themselves. You'll see them a lot of times. They'll do things like this, and they flap their hands. And why do they do it? I have no idea. To be perfectly honest, I really don't know. There's something going on in there neurologically, then they feel like they need to stimulate themselves. Ooh. Look at that. You like that? That's funny. That's funny. Look, you put your feet up. How nice. Oh, somebody's here. You need help? Somebody's here. You getting changed? Yeah. Robbie's diaper was wet, so we had to change him here in the stall. So yeah, Robbie thinks it's hilarious. Yeah, look. When we twirl the fingers, we're happy.
Corn! With my smiley boy. Hi, Corn! With my smiley.
Robbie had a lot of these stimmy behaviors when he was younger. He used to grind his teeth all the time. He ground them down to almost nothing, his baby teeth. And luckily, when his new teeth came in, that behavior kind of ended. He used to jump up and down and bang on things. He didn't sleep well. He'd wake up at 3 in the morning and he'd get in front of his TV and he'd start banging and jumping. And he discovered everyone's shoes for a while, and he used to pick up everybody's shoes and he used to spin them around all the time. I have some video of that. If I can find it, I'll add that on so that you can see that. The kids used to get really mad because their shoes used to be tied up in knots when they go to wear them. So we designated some old pairs of shoes for him to fling. We used to say he was flinging. And then eventually we got him to not do the shoes and just twirl the laces, and twirl strings. So we had his flingers, we had one time when we tried to have a dog, that didn't last long, but when we did have a dog, we had a dog leash, and he used to take the leash, and he used to like to fling the leashes. So Robbie didn't get along well with the dog, so the dog was gone, but we kept the leashes, and he used to fling the leashes. And why he did this stuff, I don't know, but there was something in him. I guess if you can't communicate and you don't understand speech and you don't really understand anything else that's going on, maybe life can be kind of boring. So that's what he did to entertain himself. Now, the first thing that you need to understand is the basics of autism. Their 5 senses can be affected. They're either hyper or hyposensitive. So, for instance, their sense of hearing can be hypersensitive, and a lot of times you'll see autistic kids walk around with their hands over their ears because they can't stand the sounds, especially if they go into a noisy, echoey type of a place like a gymnasium or something. Sometimes their sense of smell can be hypersensitive. I heard a story once of a mom that said every time she drove past a certain house, her daughter in the backseat would start kicking and screaming and having a fit, and finally she realized that particular house had tons of rose bushes, and the smell of the roses was so strong that it drove the daughter crazy, and she would have behaviors because of this. Sometimes they blink, they'll do, all kinds of things to stimulate themselves. And I guess if the world is a mystery to you and you don't really understand anything, and, I know for Robbie, to go to a place, say church, where we sit and someone's just talking, he doesn't understand what he's talking about, and there's nothing for him to do there. He's completely bored, So the music part he likes, but the talking, he doesn't get it. So that's when you would see behaviors where he'll do things to stim, and things to, to stimulate himself and keep himself occupied. So one of the big things that the teachers in Robbie's school tried to work on with the kids was to get them to stop the stimmy behaviors. So, it's very hard to get them to try to focus on their work, and a lot of times, and they look away a lot, and they want to do these kind of things, and and they try to bring them back and try to constantly get them to focus. Some of the kids obsess over the alphabet. So when my daughter was teaching, she had to take down the alphabet that was around the room because the kid was constantly reading the letters. Some kids obsess over cars, or they'll obsess over a speck of dirt, what. It's just the way their brain is wired. I don't know why. One of the day programs that I went to look at for Robbie had a stim room where the room was painted black. They had all these glow-in-the-dark stickers and things in the room. They had a glitter ball that they would turn on and that would spin around. And to me, it was the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Why would you bring them in there to stim? And they said, they brought some expert from California in to create this room for them. And I said, number one, you're going to, in 5 minutes, you will undo what they worked on for 20 years to get Robbie to stop doing. You'll put him right back in that STEM behavior. And second of all, and that's if he doesn't have a seizure within the first 5 minutes of all this stuff going on. To me, I thought it was crazy. I thought it was ridiculous. I guess there's different methods, but I think they do really well with these kids in the School for Autistic Kids where my son went, and getting them to, cut down on those behaviors as much as possible. I forgot how bad his behaviors became until I pulled out old videos of Robbie. One particular day, he was just off the wall with his stimming, to the point where he was hyperventilating. I don't know if he was making himself high off of that or what, but you'll see him go between this and the jumping and the hyperventilating and the blinking, and I mean, it was just crazy. It wasn't until he was 17 when he had his first seizure and we got him on seizure meds that I saw a huge decrease in those behaviors. So that has to tell me that something was going on in his brain, something's misfiring and just going haywire in there, so that when we finally, got control of the part of his brain that has the seizures, and it helped calm everything down. And I never wanted to medicate him because I tried a couple of medications and they made him worse. He was either crying all the time, sleeping all day, or he felt like he was coming out of his skin, and he was in the shower all day because the water was the only thing that would soothe him, and then he'd cry in the shower and he'd sit in the corner and he'd cry. It was just horrible. So I took him off those meds right away, and I just said, I'd rather live with the behaviors, I felt that to medicate him would be selfish on my part because it would make my life easier, because I wouldn't have to listen to the jumping and the banging, and he would, and the being up all night. And so I didn't want to be selfish, so that's why I didn't do it. I look back now and when I see what he's like now, how calm he is compared to the way he used to do, I realize I probably made a mistake. I should have done it earlier. The problem is that the doctors don't know. There is no pill to cure it. The doctors admitted to me they're guessing and they have no idea. So they'll try this, see if it works. No, then they'll try something else. If this works, no, okay, then we'll try something else. It's a guessing game. They have no idea. And they'll keep going until they find the perfect cocktail of what works. And every kid is so completely different that they just don't know. So for me, the seizures meds are what finally helped to really calm him down. That combined with, he does take one other med for behaviors that helps to block the aggressive behaviors. And now you really don't see much stimming with him unless he's happy. And the whole reason that I brought this subject up today is because the staff at his home asked me, what does this mean when he does this? And I said, oh well, that means he's happy. And you can see that, I'll replay some of the older videos where you could see when he's stimming.
Yeah.
my camera? Hi. Hi. Hi, dude. Hi. You need two thumbs? Shh. Oh, squeeze your thumbs. You like that? Hi, dude. What, you got crumbs under your feet? Okay, I'm not talking to you. I'll leave you alone. Oh, watch this. Watch. This is really gonna annoy him. I'm gonna watch. Okay, here we go. Watch. Oh, no. Look, he's standing guard. Watch. This is funny. Oh, no. He sees I'm watching him. Now watch, he'll push me away. Go away. Come on. So I guess my message today is really for parents that have kids that maybe you're afraid to medicate your kids. I want you to see the before and the after of Robbie before he was on meds and what he's like now, and to realize that it doesn't only make my life easier, it's given him a better life also. You know, it's making Robbie's life easier too. And I wish I had done it earlier. I wish that I was not afraid of making a mistake with the medications, because we did find the right one, and there really is, you know, a big difference. So that's it. That's it for today. Sensitive.